As I prepare to relinquish the command of one of the most elite formations of the Indian Army, I am sanguine that the situation here in Kashmir, in the valley, is peaceful and stable, and that the Chinar Corps, over the last 16 months that I have been at the helm, has strived hard to valiantly guard our borders, nix and negate numerous attempts at infiltration by inimical elements, while also simultaneously prosecuting a very robust and successful counter terrorist campaign within the Kashmir Valley. While doing this, we've also been very conscious and sensitive of our responsibility as part of nation building to maintain our connect with the Kashmiri people and the Awam. In this, as you are aware, we've initiated numerous programs and initiatives to make sure that we are always and at all times with the people of Kashmir. Today, as I am at the helm and shortly to leave, I realize that the region is at the cusp of a new beginning. We've seen over the last year and a half numerous significant events taking place here, and we've also seen a lot of development come to the region. In my view, this has been facilitated by a stable security situation brought about by very, very significant efforts that have been put in by the Chinar Corps and its sister agencies and organizations such as the Jammu and Kashmir Police, the CAPFs that are deployed here, and numerous other security agencies. So, therefore, as I leave, I wish the Kashmiri people the very best, and I'm quite certain and confident that they will embrace the numerous opportunities that lie ahead of them. Thank you, and I'll now leave it open to all of you to throw your questions and queries at me. Yeah, think, like I've said, the security situation in the state, as I see it, for the better part of the last 2 years, has been very, very peaceful and stable. So, therefore, if you look at all the parameters against which you weigh such a situation, they've all been down. You know, terrorism today is largely fueled from across the borders. I think that much is very clear. We haven't had any active recruitment as I see it over the last year and a half. The numbers last year were down to a dozen, I think, across the year, and this year, they're almost next to nil. So therefore, uh, if you see another violence parameters in terms of atrocities committed by terrorists, I think if you even look at the 4 or 5 incidents that we've had in the valley this year, softer targets have been picked where it's easy for even untrained personnel, maybe wielding a pistol or a smaller weapon to carry out such an atrocity. But the numbers are almost negligible. If you see terrorist initiated incidents, and I'm speaking within the valley, they've again been far and few in between. So, therefore, now what is the challenge? The challenge is to be able to maintain this situation. In my view, Kashmir has had a good year, just as it did last year. But we need a few more good years like this for the peace to be enduring and lasting. And that, I feel, is the biggest challenge of the security forces to be able to keep the situation the way it is today. About your second question, the recruitment of the Agniveers, I know a lot has been said and written about this, but if you heard our Chief of Army Staff speaking, numerous other veterans and other experts speaking, I think you need to give any initiative a little bit of time for it to mature and become better. And I think as far as the Agniveer recruitment scheme is concerned, it is at that stage where it is metamorphosing. And I'm quite certain, the way we've embraced numerous other initiatives in the past, that the armed forces will be able to make it successful. So, the official numbers which the multi agency committee has put out are approximately 80. And if you see, that's the lowest number in many years. When I came here last year, we were looking at numbers past the 100 figure mark. Now that figure has come down. Now, obviously, that figure is sustained by the perpetrators at a certain number, which is considered critical to sustain the terrorism ecosystem here. It has been the endeavor of the security forces to actively and aggressively bring these numbers down. And I think we've succeeded. Now the official figure is at 80. And I'm quite confident that the way we are going ahead, and we are prosecuting our operations in a manner where we are utilizing every wherewithal and means at our behest, I think these numbers will keep going down. So already at 80, we could be looking at an even lesser figure, maybe by the mid of next year. I'm keeping in mind that we are almost knocking at the doors of the winter. आपके सवाल का जो पहला हिस्सा है कि इन्फिल्ट्रेशन और लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के उस पार क्या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, कम हुआ है पहले से, तो बेशक जैसे आपने कहा, यहाँ पे काउंटर इन्फिल्ट्रेशन ग्रिड स्ट्रांग है. आपको मालूम है कि एंटी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन ऑब्स्टिकल सिस्टम, जिसको हम फेंस भी कहते हैं, वो टेक्निकली एनेबल्ड है. और कई जो अटेम्प्ट्स हैं घुसपैठ के, उनको हमने नाकाम किया है. अगर आप लॉन्च पैड्स और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करें जो लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के उस पार है, इस साल हमने देखा कि हालांकि इन लॉन्च पैड्स में लोग थे और हमें इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी से इनपुट्स भी आ रहे थे कि ये कोशिश करेंगे, लेकिन उतने अटेम्प्ट्स नहीं हुए इस समर में जब वो नॉर्मली होते हैं, जैसे कि हमने पिछले सालों में देखा. अब इसकी वजह क्या है? आपने बोला क्या स्ट्रैटेजी चेंज हुई है. ये तो जाहिर है कि घुसपैठ लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के अलावा दूसरी जगह से भी हो सकती है, और शायद इस साल हुई भी. और इसीलिए अगर आप देखें तो शायद जम्मू रीजन में नंबर्स कुछ बढ़ गए हैं, क्योंकि वो एरिया हमेशा से पीसफुल था. तो स्ट्रैटेजी चेंज शायद ये हुई है कि लॉन्च पैड्स में हम देख रहे थे, हमें लग रहा था कि यहां से इन्फिल्ट्रेट करेंगे, लेकिन इन्फिल्ट्रेशन की कोशिशें और शायद सक्सेसफुल कोशिशें कहीं और से हो रही थी. और इसीलिए हम देख रहे हैं कि वो नंबर्स शायद थोड़े से बढ़ गए हैं. लेकिन मैं सिर्फ आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि मैं बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हूं और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि वो नंबर्स भी जल्दी कम होने शुरू हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि इंटेलिजेंस हमें आने लग गई. दूसरा, आसिफ, आपने बात करी पिछले साल कोकरनाग वाले ऑपरेशन की. मैं सिर्फ इतना अपनी तरफ से कहना चाहता हूं कि वो एक अटैक नहीं था. आपको मालूम है कि उस ऑपरेशन में हमारे कर्नल मनप्रीत सिंह, मेजर आशीष भौंचक, डीएसपी हुमायूं भट्ट और सिपाही प्रदीप सिंह मेड द सुप्रीम सैक्रिफाइस. वो हमारा ऑपरेशन था. ये कई बार मैंने सुना है आप लोगों को बोलते हुए कि वो अटैक था, लेकिन मैं आज शायद एक आखिरी बार ये क्लैरिफाई करना चाहता हूं कि ऑपरेशन हमारा था. हमने सरप्राइज भी अचीव करी, लेकिन और कर्नल मनप्रीत और डीएसपी हुमायूं उस हाइडआउट तक ऑलमोस्ट पहुंच गए थे। लेकिन आप लोग सब एक्सपीरियंस हैं, आपको मालूम है कि जब पहाड़ों में और जंगलों में ऑपरेशन होते हैं तो आपको पिन पॉइंट पता नहीं होता कि वो हाइड आउट एक्चुअली कहाँ है। दे हैड अचीव सरप्राइज, और हाउ पूरी रात वो कॉलम्स चले थे, वो हाइड आउट सराउंड हो गया था। लेकिन लास्ट स्टेज में जब वो हाइड आउट के पास थे और वो आपस में मशवरा कर रहे थे कि एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन क्या हो सकता है, उस समय में काफी फायरिंग हुई और उन चारों को गोली लगी। और वो टेरेन ऐसा था कि हमें उनको वहां से इवैक्यूएट करने में भी प्रॉब्लम हुई। क्या वो फॉरेन टेररिस्ट थे? आपको मालूम है कि उस ऑपरेशन में 2 मरे भी। वन वाज अनआइडेंटिफाइड, वन वाज आइडेंटिफाइड एज अ लोकल। शायद 1-2 बच के निकल भी गए हों। क्या वो पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट थे या जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं फॉरेन टेररिस्ट थे? अम, वो कहना मुश्किल है। हाल ही में जो हमने ऑपरेशन देखे हैं उसमें पीर पंजाल के उस तरफ जम्मू रीजन में आई थिंक हमारे पास काफी संकेत हैं कि ये इन ऑल प्रोबेबिलिटी पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट हैं। यहां पर पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट नहीं मरे, ये मैं आपसे सहमत नहीं हूं, क्योंकि 2 ऑपरेशन में नॉर्थ कश्मीर में पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट भी मरे। इनके नंबर्स क्या हैं कहना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, बट दे कुड बी एनीथिंग फ्रॉम 25 to 40। ज्यादा बड़ा नंबर नहीं है, लेकिन अगर एक एरिया पीसफुल है, स्टेबल है, और उसमें सडनली इतने आप आतंकवादियों को ऐड कर दो तो थोड़ा समय लगता है जो काउंटर टेररिस्ट ग्रिड है उसको मैच्योर होने। तो अभी वो ग्रिड को लगाया गया है, और जैसे कि मैंने बताया अब उसमें इंटेलिजेंस उत्पन्न होनी शुरू हो गई, और आप देखेंगे कि आगे सक्सेसफुल ऑपरेशन भी होंगे। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है इसके बारे में। ओके, सो द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ योर क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट। The training of an insurgent or a terrorist can only be as good. He can obviously not be as well trained as, let's say, the Indian Army soldier. I think at least I have no doubt about that in my mind. You can hand them technology. For instance, I'm carrying a rifle or an automatic weapon, and you can give me a night sight, and I can train you how to use it. So obviously, it's going to enhance that capability a little. But let's not forget that the Indian Army today has at its behest the best possible technology. You're also aware that 2024 is the year of technology absorption in the Indian Army. So we've embraced technology in a very, very big manner, and we are leveraging it all across our operations. So therefore, not even for a moment are we awed by the fact that the infiltrators could be Pakistanis or foreign, or that they are very well trained, or that they have great technological wherewithal. That doesn't bother us. We have to do counter-terrorist operations, and we will go after insurgents, whatever shape or size or whatever manner of technology that they may be utilizing. I think there is no doubt about that. Now, I'm sorry, can you just tell me the first part? Ceasefire. Yeah, the ceasefire. Now, you are aware that the ceasefire came into effect at the beginning of 2021, and the DGMOs of India and Pakistan, picked up the phone and they spoke about it. The situation at that time, as you're aware, was tenuous on the northern borders with China, and at that point in time, the two countries felt that was the most apt thing to do, so that tensions could be kept under a threshold as far as the line of control and the western borders are concerned. Is it sustaining? Yes, very much. It is sustaining. And there are certain tenets to that ceasefire understanding, which both the sides follow. Every now and then, if any side has any exception to any activity that may have been prosecuted by the other side, those are brought to notice through various means. So there are hotlines on the line of control. The two DGMOs have hotlines and they have access to each other. And these are routinely brought to each other's notice. But the ceasefire understanding has sustained and still very much in force. That is, ultra communication is, as you're aware, what the terrorists use. It has various layers of encryption, and while presently it is affording them the secrecy that they want, but I assure you that work is happening in that regard, and soon we will be able to crack that encryption, and I'm hoping that that will further dent the terrorist ecosystem and network. Fareed, look, every time a new method is employed by any military force across the world, you always tend to take note of that because you want to derive and draw your own lessons from it so that you can incorporate what is relevant to you and prepare your army and armed forces accordingly. What we are seeing unfolding in the Middle East is obviously a new trend, and in the manner in which it is unfolded is quite unique. So, therefore, of course, we will analyze it and we will put it into perspective, and then come to conclusions as to what is relevant and how it could affect us. And make no mistake, we will prepare for it. Because we are an evolving army. We are very conscious of the threats and challenges that lie ahead in today's day and age. We are aware that technology can be used in many ways and many creative ways of that. And we've seen the methods that you were mentioning. So, therefore, yes, certainly we will analyze these developments. We'll come to our conclusions and prepare we shall. Definitely. Make no mistake. Fareed, in a lighter vein, if I was just to, have my little moment in the sun, then I would agree to what you said in the end, that we've done so well, that we've deterred and scared people off. But I am more pragmatic. Going into these elections, we had numerous deliberations and meetings at the highest level, at the functional level here in Srinagar, where we have the best role model of what should I say, interagency cooperation and synergy. So, yes, we put an architecture in place. We followed it diligently. We followed the regimen and the process to the T. The results are there for you to see. But just like there are questions in your head that why this eerie silence, those questions are there in our head also, and as they should be. As a good professional soldier, I must always see the other side. And therefore, we are in the process of analyzing as to what possibly could have happened. Of course, the robust security architecture did deter, not only during the elections that have just been concluded, but even in the ones before that, or even, let's say, in other significant events such as the traditional pilgrimage that takes place. So, our aim is always to put a system in place which will deter and deny. But we will definitely introspect and see as to what are the possibilities as we move ahead. I know various scenarios can unfold, and I assure you that we will always put forth a best version of ourselves and make sure that what we have achieved in the past can be replicated in the future.